Scorpio, this is powerful energy. There are big messages coming through and a lot of them. So I'm going to get into what I've gotten so far in my meditation, the oracle card that came out, the ruin, and then we're going to get into the cards and charms that are in this bag that I made up on the full moon, and I charged it under the full moon. I don't know what's in here, so we're going to see together, and then we'll pull out more cards. But I want to start by saying that this is a time of growth, prosperity, and abundance, as well as a time of rest and healing, comfort, nourishment, and taking care of yourself. And it feels like you're stepping into a consciousness, into an energetic field in which you are learning that those two things, growth and rest, are not mutually exclusive, that they can coexist together. You can do both at the same time. You have to listen to the energy that's flowing within you. Is it wanting to rest at the time? Does it need a hug? Does it need some comfort? Do you need to ask some important questions and slow down? Or do you need to go for it and take a chance? Because all of those things are happening. I'm hearing in the next 30 days. I just saw 113, and that's one of the numbers that I wrote down here for you. So that could be a synchronicity for someone. I don't usually say the next 30 days. My readings are timeless, so from whenever you watch this, but this came through. So there's something here that is cyclical. Okay, and this is a real big opportunity for you because the rune that came through for you is Feu. And this is all about growth, abundance, creation, prosperity, and a wealth. A wealth of knowledge is what I feel you're gaining. Now, it could be literally wealth, but it feels more like you suddenly have a breakthrough. Something breaks open and you have a wealth of understanding of how to navigate energy when you find it challenging. It is all about this ebb and flow. It's about the highs and lows, the peaks and the valleys, and loving it all and understanding it all, and how all of it has to be there for your growth, for your peace and your balance and your expansion of consciousness. You need to experience it all. Okay, now I also got in my meditation that there's been harsh beginnings for you. So this could be early on in life, or it could be a harsh beginning that was a catalyst to something that is prosperous for you now. But this harsh beginning is something to honor, which I feel you know and you do. But what I specifically got about it is that it's the precursor, or it was the precursor, to your capacity to hold energy. So it feels like whatever you went through, this difficult beginning, this brutality in some ways, it kind of expanded your field. It expanded your vessel almost, where you were able to hold more energy and more complex energy. Okay, I don't know why you need to know that, but it seems like something maybe you want to visualize, how something maybe you feel broke you open. Something's breaking open, giving you a wealth of information, but maybe you feel like something broke you open, but it expanded you. It expanded your capacity to hold energy. Different kinds of energy, which makes you complicated and willing, I'm hearing, and willing to expand even further, even if it requires navigating through more harsh realities and experiences. You're not the type to shy away from it. You're the type to see what's in it, which doesn't mean you necessarily enjoy those difficult moments. But you look for the gem, you look for the gold, you look for the diamond in the rough. And that's why you're coming through in this oracle card as the healer, which you definitely are, and you know that about yourself. I don't need to tell you that. So what I think this card is speaking more about is your need to heal as well. Your need to accept healing energy that others give to you, or that nature gives to you, or subtle moments give to you, okay? Subtle moments from spirit or messages from spirit. There's healing energy that's coming towards you, and spirit wants you to open your arms to it because you're very used to being the healer. because you understand something at a deep level. But there's questions that are being answered if you allow that energy to come towards you and allow yourself to heal from something. Okay, this could even be physically needing to take some downtime, or listening to yourself when your body and your energy and your spirit and your mind are saying, rest now, rest now. Okay, so I got all of these interesting messages. The first thing that came through for you is that there is a sign you didn't know you needed, and it's coming through, a sign you didn't know you needed. And as I was setting up the table for your reading, I had this beautiful long selenite wand, and it rolled right off the table and broke into a lot of different pieces. And typically I'm like, oh no, I really love that thing. But I kind of just had a neutral kind of response to it. And I looked at it, and I feel like this is definitely part of your energy because it was a sign of some sort. I looked at it and I realized, well, it just broke into a million pieces. Not a million, but a lot. And now I have all these other shards that I can place all over the place. It actually gave me more to work with. I put some of the shards on my bookshelf, now on each shelf, and before it was just one big, huge wand that I could only do one thing with. So that's a message for you. Something may be breaking down, but I wrote here, a shard can be just as powerful as the whole, and maybe even more powerful. So there's something maybe you want to reduce to its purest form, or only take a part of, or realize that if something breaks literally or figuratively, that there may be more value in it for you. Okay, then I got that you need to take a chance with something. You need to make something more personal to you. The letter G. I also heard that there's prayer. Well, this is the exact phrase that came through. Prayers for my mother. Now, that could be a specific message for someone, but I feel like it could also be a metaphor. Perhaps this is praying to that internal mother, the inner mother that you have, the part of you that wants to give you comfort and healing. I don't know. Prayers for my mother seems important. So let's get into your reading and see what comes through. I'm going to open this bag that I put together on the full moon. I haven't seen what's in it. Cards and charms are in here. So let's open it up and see what Spirit has to say, and then we'll pull more oracle cards and tarot cards. We have the 7 of Cups. Oh yeah, that's like the breaking down of many. Interesting. Pessimistic. Sacred Fire, destroy old paradigms. Chained. Wrong. I got something about wrong earlier. I can't remember. Something came through about the word wrong. Anyways, let's see. Maybe it will come through again. Let's see. We have the letter N, I, Q, K. This little stone. It's pink and black. We have this charm, looks like Venus to me. Libra, Justice, birthday cake that says happy birthday, smoky quartz. This is actually my favorite crystal that I have. The letter N again, another N, 3 N's. Okay, interesting. J, the letter X, Sagittarius energy, Sagittarius and Libra. Those are the signs on either side of you. Right, so that's like that embrace, that hug. Maybe there's something about Sagittarius and Libra that you could work with. Not talking specifically about people you know, although maybe, right? Maybe if that resonates with you. But it could be just looking at those different energies and what do they mean? And why do you think you, Scorpio, sit in the middle of that? What is the purpose of that on a cosmic level? What do you bring to Libra? What do you bring to Sagittarius energy? And what do they bring to you? Because nothing is ever fully separate and apart. Everything is linked and connected. And then we have a bird cage that is open and nothing is in it. Okay, let's look at this. Anything else? And then this beautiful bag. It's actually a vintage bag I got with a vintage tarot deck. So it's kind of a hand-me-down, I suppose. I don't know who owned it before, but it has very good energy. So you could find something antique or vintage of some sort, some object, and it could have some good energy for you. So let's see, the sign you didn't know you needed. One second. What old paradigm have you been chained to? Something pessimistic. Okay, so I'm seeing a message here, although I have to be honest, I'm not feeling it necessarily. So this could be about you, or it could be about someone you know. But I'm seeing a message here of an energy that is chained to always proving others wrong, okay? Always taking the pessimistic angle. Always immediately looking for the weakness in somebody's argument, or trying to see maybe where they're contradicting themselves or where they're not being authentic. It's like I have to stay on top of the trickery that goes on in the world, and I always have to remember that all is not what it seems. And yeah, I dig that. I do that too from time to time. But with the healer here, there's another way to use that same kind of energy and turn that pessimistic thought form into a curiosity, into a willingness to take a risk, to ask a big question. Okay, so it feels like you may be very critical of something, and that energy could serve you well, and maybe has served you well, to figure out what's real and what's not real. But I feel that there's something else here where Spirit wants you to take that same energy and think about how something could be better than what you think it is. How you could maybe be wrong about something you're pessimistic about. Not because it's not like you've missed something. It's not like what you're thinking and seeing isn't right. It's more like there's more. You need to ask some more questions. It's like you've come to a certain conclusion that is right, but there's more to it, and you're not going to that place. You're not going to that level. You're not asking those questions. And therefore, it's like what you know is right is sort of feeling like a little bit wrong. This is complicated, but it's not exactly wrong. It's just that there's more, and you need to go there. Whoa. So this is a paradigm you're breaking. It's like you get to a certain level, you make a conclusion, or maybe you get to a certain level of success and you say, okay, that's it. I'm staying here. There's nothing else, or like there's no need to go further. But then there is a need to turn this pessimistic energy into more of a curiosity. That's interesting, Scorpio. Okay, so let's get more cards out and see what this is all about. We're definitely going to get more specific here. very psychological. This is very psychological for you. You may be into psychology. Yeah. Or maybe you are helping someone else work through some pessimism. So let's see the energies supporting you, Scorpio. This fell out right away. King of Cups, compassion, diplomacy, and balance. Yeah, it's like a balance between pessimism and curiosity, between being right and wrong, between pushing forward and taking chances and acting and being and having prosperity, being prosperous, and then also resting and easing yourself and allowing yourself to be held and comforted. Like, you can experience all of these things, and you should. There's no simple solutions or simple answers when you're only looking at one side of the coin. You have to look at both. And then it's like, don't decide which side of the coin you want to choose. It's like, know that you have decided to choose both. Does that make any sense? Okay, let's see. King of Cups can be a healer as well. Can be a great counselor, psychologist, spiritual teacher, because in its highest form, the King of Cups is able to separate his own emotional responses and reactions from those that he's helping and healing. So there's less of a transference or a projection onto people. There's an awareness that, oh, these are my emotions, not necessarily their emotions. But there's something else here where Spirit's pointing to, that things aren't always that clean cut. They're not always that separate. It's okay sometimes to allow yourself to feel the similarities between you and someone else. This reading, man. Okay, let's see the challenges for Scorpio. Judgment in reverse, 3 of Swords, and 10 of Cups. Self-doubt, heartbreak, and family bliss. Okay, and I did feel that with the harsh beginnings. Some experience you had, heartbreaking experience, creating some anguish in the family setting or in a partnership that felt like family for you. This may be where the pessimism comes in, where it's like every time I get to a certain point, it always, breaks, it fails, something goes wrong for me. So I'm not going to push this, I'm not going to push my luck. Some kind of doubt and resistance to taking things a step further that you're having or that I'm picking up on. But that is the paradigm that Spirit's telling you to destroy, because it's chaining you to this place of, I know there's more, I'm hungry for more, I can see the potentials and the opportunities to expand, but maybe that's wrong of me. Now, you could also be having a struggle between spirituality and material abundance and feeling like those two things can't go together. They absolutely can. The only limitations on those coming together are coming from your own mind. Okay? Spirit has not made some kind of rule like you cannot have abundance, material wealth if you're spiritual. There are no rules like that in the spirit world, in our world. Okay? It's all what you make it in your mind. So there's something maybe you need to rectify here when it comes to your material abundance and your capacity to rest and take care of yourself and your ability to expand your consciousness. You can have it all because you are part of the all. So nothing is limited here. Now, to get that, you need to take care of yourself and push yourself sometimes as well. Take a chance. Make something personal. A shard can be just as powerful as the whole. There's also something that you may need to reserve right now so that you can grow it more. Maybe this is your energy, maybe it's money, maybe it's a connection. There's something that you could want to spend on. Okay, there's something about taking care of what you have that will allow you to see that you can have more. Okay. If you're still here, then I'm happy you're getting this because it does feel a little bit tricky and complicated. So there's no clear-cut, simple answers here. Why would there be? Is life simple? Maybe. But maybe it's beautifully complex, full of possibility. So are you wanting something to be simple? Because perhaps embracing the complicated nature of it would be more fruitful for you. Okay, let's see. Why can't it just be this way? Why can't I just have this? Why can't, Well, because things are complicated. The pathless, difficult decisions, lack of direction. The captain, taking command, teamwork. The scholar, investigation and research. And the thief, that keeps coming out for the signs, seizing the moment and selfishness. So there's a collective energy that may be manifesting through your personal relationships that is trying to take something. And I feel like it's trying to take something by getting you to choose either this or that, or to be on this side or that side, to be right or wrong, pessimistic, optimistic, all these dualities. There's a thief energy that wants you to stick to just one way, one path. That's it, Scorpio. That's where you belong. That's who you are. That's the box you fit in. When that's not true. You have multiple paths. And that doesn't mean you're pathless. It means you get to choose your direction and change your direction too. It opens you up to more possibilities. So Spirit is saying, take command of your future, of your present moment, of your plan, of where you want to be. If you feel pathless, if you feel like you're lacking direction, or if you feel like you've come to a dead end, because the truth is that there is much more to know and to learn with the scholar, investigation, and research, a wealth of knowledge coming to you. Just going to show you these cards here. Now, with the healer card and the pathless, you could be very attuned to helping others find their path. Meanwhile, you maybe feel like you're going in circles with something, or that you don't know really where something is heading. But again, try to turn that pessimistic feeling into a curiosity instead. It's truly the pessimism, which again, I feel like is good in many regards, and it's healthy. Critical thinking, all for it. Questioning people and what's going on, all for it, okay? I got an 8th house stellium. I'm on it, okay? I get it. But in some ways here, it's chaining you from going to the next adventure, the next level, the next understanding. Okay, so let me see an outside energy that is influencing or impacting you right now, that you need to know about or that we need to talk about. The adventurer, responsibility and expectations. So maybe you have a lot of responsibilities right now, and there's an expectation for you to be stable, to be predictable as the healer, to be the person people come to, or to deliver information in the same way, or to show up the same way, or have the same kind of emotions. Put the bread down on the table, okay, to be the breadwinner. Whatever it is, there's an expectation either you've placed on yourself or others have placed on you. And this may be holding you back from the great adventure that awaits you. Now, this is where the balance comes in. Spirit is not saying abandon those responsibilities you have, but find ways to take care of them with the least amount of effort possible while still being successful in taking care of them. But don't overwork it. Don't go overboard, so that you can take some of that energy and you can reserve it for your adventure, for your wealth, and for your abundance that's coming through for you. Someone else around you may be wanting you to go on an adventure, or maybe they have a more adventurous spirit as you see it. Okay, but you feel like they're being unrealistic, okay, that they need to settle down. This is for some of you, not all of you. And Spirit's saying, join them rather than opposing them, because it's possible. Okay, anything else I need to know about an outside energy, Spirit, for Scorpio? The catalyst, radical changes in taking control. Yes. Okay, so that's what I had, right? A harsh beginning is a precursor to your capacity to hold energy. It's a catalyst. So if you're experiencing something harsh right now, it is going to be a catalyst for you, but you have to activate it as such. It's just not immediately a catalyst. This card came through. You have to view it that way, which I think you do, or you can. Secrets. I communicate honestly and authentically. So what's your secret, Scorpio? Every Scorpio has a secret. Doesn't have to be bad. Shouldn't be, actually. But you do have one. Spirit is asking you to divulge a secret that you feel you can or you should. Communicate honestly and authentically about what you need, about what you want. The sign you didn't know you needed. Okay, let's get into the tarot finally, Scorpio, and see what else wants to come through for you. I hope this message is helping. Let's see. For Scorpio, Spirit, what wants to come through for Scorpio? Wow. 10 of Cups and 3 of Swords came through again. What are the chances of that? Only in the spirit world do those chances happen, right? Only when Spirit's here. The odds. The odds are in your favor, Scorpio, especially with Feu. The odds are in your favor. Oh, beautiful. Okay. 6 of Cups at the bottom. There's your beginning. Okay, so 10 of Wands for your overall energy. Well, you're sure carrying a lot of weight, a lot of worries, a lot of concerns, a lot of responsibilities. okay? And yes, you're strong enough to carry all of this and you can persevere. But no wonder you're feeling pessimistic and chained. I need to know, what do you feel is wrong? What do you feel is wrong? Imposter syndrome. I acknowledge my past accomplishments and believe in my future success. Scorpio. Well, usually that's what happens, right? When we come across something and we're immediately critical, or we feel like someone's not being authentic. I mean, that can be true, but if it becomes a pattern where we're always doing that every time, then it's usually a reflection of some way we feel about ourselves. We may be looking for it in someone else because we sense it in ourselves. And we're trying to work through that subconsciously by figuring out someone else's secret. You know, who are they really? And Spirit is showing me here that you may feel like you don't deserve something or that you're not good enough for something, but you are. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. Two of Swords for what you don't see coming. This is a decision coming up that you're going to have to make. Can you tell me more about what this decision is all about, Spirit? Queen of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles. Yes, exactly. Are you going to stop here and settle with something and protect it with all your might because you feel like if you push it any further, if you go any further, something might slip through the cracks, slip through your fingers, or you're going to be too greedy in some way? That's the decision you need to make. Are you going to settle or are you going to keep going? Are you going to strive for more? Okay, and I feel like this message and these cards are pushing you to get back up on that horse and keep going. Yes, you have made it to safety, security in some way, confidence even though I'm seeing this imposter syndrome. It feels like you have to stop here. Well, no, you can keep going. Okay. Your opportunity, justice. Balance, as well as karma, cause and effect, your capacity to hold more in complex energy. Don't stop believing is what I'm getting with the Sun card. There is a huge opportunity here for you to grow, and you have to take it in order to get it. It's not going to just happen. There's something you need to break, a pattern in your thinking, a pattern in the way that you view yourself. Yes, I've accomplished a lot. I've come up to this level. And Spirit's saying, well, but there's more. There's a lot more to go. And you're like, yeah, but I'm good here. Maybe it's a humble thing that you're convincing yourself that you're doing. But along with this expansion comes more wisdom, comes more knowledge, comes more self-understanding. So don't cut yourself off now. It also helps you heal more and more. So your opportunity is to allow yourself to get the justice you deserve, the karma that wants to come in for you, which is more growth and abundance. Stop making something so hard on yourself too. Allow yourself to rest in that. It's such an interesting energy because you're pushing yourself here. It's like you've put down a brick wall. You've said, this is where I stop. But you keep pushing yourself against this brick wall, not allowing yourself to get rid of it and dismantle it and move past it. So it's like you've done two things at the same time. This is where I stop, but then also I'm kind of trying to still push against it. So you have to remove the wall for your movement to feel easier, and it won't feel like such a push anymore. So yes, you need to take a risk and like go for it. But first the wall needs to be removed. Otherwise you just keep running up against the same exhaustion and frustration and pessimism. Okay, Ace of Wands for the challenge. Well, this is the new opportunity. This is the adventure, the catalyst. It's a challenge. Why is this such a challenge for Scorpio? The Hermit and the Emperor. You're very protective of yourself. You have a lot of power and you know it, but you keep a lot of it to yourself. What are you doing with all of this? The Emperor and the Hermit? This is like, I am my own master. No one else but me. I have a lot of wisdom, a lot of insights. I've spent a lot of time alone, reflecting, and the world can be mine. This is you knowing this at a deep level. But then I feel like you're not really following through with it, or you're scared to. You feel like, well, I'm the emperor when I'm all by myself, or maybe in this particular position or in this particular relationship or whatever it is. I'm the emperor here, and I know all there is to know about this thing and myself and where I stand and everything. But if I go outside of myself and be the emperor, then maybe I'm just an imposter. And Spirit's saying, well, why don't you take a risk, take a chance, and figure that out? Find out. Find out. And if it happens to be the case that you're right and that you're not the emperor at all out in the next chapter, in the next level, in the next whatever, then you can just come back here and be safe. Because I feel like what you're going to find out is that you're an emperor within and without, in the internal and external. Okay? So the advice is the Ten of Cups and the Three of Swords. This is the major block for you, is the fear of losing it all, of getting to a point of happiness and fulfillment, and then it all being taken away. And I feel like that's happened in the past. Definitely here with the self-doubt. Three of Cups, or sorry, not Three of Cups, Three of Swords and Ten of Cups twice. So that's something to think about and to look at. Now, maybe this relates to prayers for my mother. I don't know, maybe something happened in childhood with your parents or your parental figures that was really heartbreaking. Something got taken away. It's created this self-doubt in you, this imposter syndrome, or this feeling like you can't have it all, or you can't be optimistic because you're just going to be let down. It's like waiting for the shoe to drop always. And like I said, sometimes that viewpoint is useful, but not all the time. Anything else here? Five of Pentacles, exactly. It keeps you in a lack mindset of, I don't have enough. I'm just going to stay here safe on this rock and hope that the waves don't come up further. Hope that this boat comes in and saves me. And Spirit's saying, but you're the emperor. You're the healer. You're the captain. You're the captain. Okay, so the outcome, I'm also going to do an extended. In the extended, we're going to go a layer deeper and see what else wants to come through. Link for that is in the description box below. If you don't want to go to that, don't like that idea, then trust Spirit gave you everything you needed to know here. Okay, so the outcome for you in the next 30 days, death. Your card. Transition. I don't know why I said it like that. Transition. Transmutation. death, rebirth, cycles, right. Okay, let's see a little bit further into this. Self-discovery. This is definitely you destroying old paradigms, freeing yourself. Six of Swords, beautiful. This is you taking your mind, your mental space into a place of peace and possibility. Maybe a little bit of pessimism here and there won't hurt. But all three of those. Okay, this is you deciding, I'm going to stop pushing up against that wall and just remove the wall. Let's stop for a second. Take the wall down brick by brick that I've put up in my mind, or maybe actually in some way, and then keep going. And wow, does it ever lead you somewhere that is mentally expansive? All right, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that helped. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.